is excited about NASA's Artemis 3 mission to the moon. It will be the first crewed lunar landing in over 50 years. What comes after that? Well, we already have plans for Artemis 4, 5, and even 6, and each one of them will be more exciting than the last. Very clear that the ultimate goal of NASA is Mars, and for that, they need a strong partner. For some reason, NASA doesn't like SpaceX. Talking about how they want to work with the company. When it comes to actually giving them any kind of important contract, they think of some excuse or the other. It seems NASA has finally realized that if they want to go to Mars, they will need SpaceX's help. First time, NASA has given SpaceX a major contract related to the moon. SpaceX has been awarded a multi-million-dollar contract by NASA to support the Artemis program. Not a huge amount of money, but it's still a start. SpaceX will provide launch services for the Artemis 3 and Artemis 4 missions using their Falcon Heavy rocket. The contract also covers support for the development of the HLS, or Human Landing System, which will put astronauts down on the surface of the moon. Support will extend all the way through Artemis 6. Remember that NASA had picked the HLS as the first crewed lunar lander back in 2020. HLS is a variant of SpaceX's Starship rocket, which is still undergoing testing. Starship is the largest and most powerful rocket ever made, but so far it has only performed an uncrewed test flight, and it exploded spectacularly. SpaceX is preparing for its second integrated flight test, which will hopefully go better. Starship is going to be a vital part of the Artemis program. So obviously, NASA wants to make sure that it works properly. How is SpaceX going to do that? Well, they're going to use their Super Heavy booster as a test article and fly it with a dummy Starship on top. Allow them to test the entire launch sequence, including things like quick disconnect and stage separation. SpaceX has already started stacking the booster for this upcoming test. We'll be watching closely to see how it goes. If Starship works as intended, then NASA will be in good hands, because the agency is planning to use Starship for several missions beyond Artemis 6. In fact, NASA has already contracted SpaceX to develop a human landing system for the agency's planned lunar station called Gateway. It's supposed to be a way station in orbit around the moon that will allow crews to transfer between Earth and the lunar surface. There's no way that NASA could land astronauts on the moon without the help of a strong partner. They have the technology to do that. If they did, it would take too long to develop. Working with SpaceX is the best option. But NASA is also looking at the possibility of using Starship for crewed missions to Mars. The idea is that Starship could transport crews and cargo to Mars more quickly and easily than any other vehicle. Of course, this is still just a dream. A lot of technical challenges that need to be overcome before we can send people to Mars. Mention the political and financial hurdles. But NASA is hoping that Starship can make it happen sooner rather than later. It looks like NASA has finally come to their senses and realized that they need SpaceX's help to go to the moon and Mars. It took a long time to realize it, but better late than never. Anyways, do you think that NASA will ever let SpaceX land astronauts on Mars? I'd love to hear your opinion, so please comment below. I think that NASA will eventually come around to the idea. No choice but to work with the best if they want to go to Mars. That's it for tonight. So much for watching. If you want to support us even further, please consider becoming a patron. We appreciate your generosity and your passion for space exploration. As always, this is your host. And until next time, keep looking up